this video, we're just going to see how to make buttercream. The buttercream that we'll make today is the American buttercream, and the ratio I suggest using on cakes like palette knife and pointillism is 1:3 all butter. So this is butter with 250 grams, and that's sifted icing sugar 750 grams, and that's a little bit of water depending on the consistency. I'll be adding some water to get to the right consistency that I need. You can also use the extract flavoring of choice. I prefer to use vanilla. For this measurement, a teaspoon of vanilla extract would be enough. So this buttercream is in room temperature and it is quite soft, you can see. Okay, now it's not right out of the refrigerator and it's not too soft as well, and the icing sugar is sifted. I'm just going to move the water aside for now, and I want to beat the butter for some time, say 2 to 3 minutes, until I'm just going to get it completely light, and start adding the icing sugar a little bit at a time, incorporating every bit. And once it gets tougher, as I'm adding the icing sugar, then I'll add a little bit of water as needed, and then I'll check my final consistency if I need a little bit of more water. I have the hand beater with me, which I'm going to use on a bowl. Now I'm adding the icing sugar. So I'm first mixing up the icing sugar to avoid the splash of icing sugar all over. I'm adding the icing sugar into the butter that's beaten well. Once it just gets incorporated a little bit, and then I'll start using the beater. I'm adding more icing sugar. I first use the spoon to mix it up a bit. Now it's getting tougher. I'm going to add some more and then mix. So when you see the icing sugar gets a little more for the butter and it gets difficult for the beater to beat, I'm just adding say about a teaspoon of water to start with, and then that's going to make it easier for the beater. Now let me add some more icing sugar. You can add cream, your dairy cream or milk in place of water to get the consistency if it is getting very tough and difficult to beat with a beater. Now I'm going to add some more water before using the beater. Another teaspoon more. So you can see the icing sugar and the butter are not coming together, which means that is a little tough at the moment, which means it just needs a little more water or liquid, which can be or cream or milk. So I'm adding some more water. And now together with this, I'm going to add all of the icing sugar that I've measured. So now all the 1:3 icing sugar has gone in. And now I just need to incorporate this icing sugar into this buttercream and check the consistency and add water as needed. Again, more water. And to beat. After adding all the icing sugar, I should continue to beat for 5 more minutes until the whole thing becomes creamy, and that is when the right texture will start showing up, and not just right after the incorporation. It is not the right stage to use. So, and when it is after 5 minutes, it is going to be even more softer than this. So don't add too much water at this stage, but to just make it easy for the beater, 1 more spoon, and I'm going to continue beating for say 3 to 5 more minutes until I see the whole bowl becoming fluffy, light, and the butter change color to a bit more paler than what it is now. So done beating the buttercream, just scrape off the sides, and this is 1:3, but because of the water added, it looks soft. This can be used to frost the cake directly, and you can leave it in the room temperature for about 8 hours or overnight, and the moisture all will evaporate, and because of the ratio of more icing sugar, this will crust to the room temperature and will not be like too soft to handle. Okay, so now this is ready to make the colors. Just going to scoop up some buttercream into bowls and then start making colors that we'll be using on the cake.